Welcome, sir.
Namaste, sir.
Namaste, namaste. Welcome.
Yes, sir. I joined once at 3 o'clock also.
I know. I saw that. But today's time was 4 because there was nobody that time except one from Mumbai. So I hope people join today on second day. There is some holiday festival as well.
Yeah, Teachers' Day also, sir. Happy Teachers' Day to you as well from India side.
To everybody, remembering Professor, our President, Sri Radha.
Yes.
One of the man of philosopher and teacher of.
Yes, that is true, sir.
So Dr. Murthy is with us, and can you hear me, Dr. Murthy?
Yes, please. Okay. I can hear you.
Yeah.
I can hear you. Thank you.
Yeah, namaskar, Dr. Murthy. It was really a pleasure to listen to you yesterday.
Thank you very much. Very nice of you.
Yeah. So you have joined from Canada, sir? Where are you geographically?
I'm in Bangalore.
Okay. Indian time. Okay. That's good.
Yeah. If you send me your email, I can send you some of my writings on suicide prevention.
Yes. Yesterday also I shared yesterday. Today again I am writing in the chat box, sir.
Oh. No, if you can send me an email, you have my email address. I'll be happy to send you some of my writings.
I think I will with permission put everything on the website and circulate it.
Okay.
We are trying to develop a database on one of the websites where we have all the reports compiled together. Means say WHO report, Government of India reports, so that people, and about 1,000 abstracts which have been published, put together. Let me see if I can, so that people can download that.
Yes,
So,
that will be great,
Amresh,
sir.
yes, sir.
Amresh, both your books are not in the Kindle. Only hard copy is available.
There is some problem with that, and we are sorting it
Anyway,
out.
whatever it is, I ordered it, but it will be more easy for people to access it by Kindle.
Yes, I know
And
that.
yeah, anyway.
There is some problem. We are by end of this month it will be sorted out.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Yes.
Okay, sure.
So, translating the books in Hindi is a challenge. We are trying, but we recently brought out this Handled Life with Care, which has compilation of 500 pages about all facts about suicide, which is also available, and now it will be in Kindle as well. So on the website, we are trying to build a database where people can download most of the. Let me see if I can share some of the link, which is. I don't know if people do not join today. It's the enthusiasm goes down. It's difficult to really popularize and get people.
Sir, the good things are always less in demand.
No,
because,
I know.
Yeah.
I know this is, yeah, but we have been struggling with all these things for our life, and
that's very true.
And hopefully things will become easy in time to come. No idea.
Certainly, sir, because you are doing a great job by putting every day a video on the current issues and explaining different concepts.
I mean, I'm doing nothing. If you, Dr. Murthy, Dr. Vig, Professor Vig, our professor who died, is no more. They have last 50, 60 years struggled with this awareness and dealing with ignorance. So this is the website. If you click on this, it has quite a. Let me share the screen and then it will be. Yeah, here. So here we have a lot of material on webinars like this. So previous webinars are posted here. Here you can see, and similarly, number of reports are, you would be able to see. We go here.
And Professor Murthy's email ID must also be available there, right, sir?
No, I'll send it to you.
Okay, thank you so much.
Don't worry about it.
I'm just putting it again.
Yes, please. So we are now proposing to maybe raise membership of Global Alliance for Training and Education, so that informally people can, get together and share ideas, and within a next 1 year's time decide what exactly, which direction to take. So on this website, you will have a number of things, plus the main website here, which is mansikshakti.org. This also has quite a lot of resource. Yeah, program, webinar, gate, YouTube, media, contacts. So there are 2-3 websites linked. I'm going to ask our Manisham to structure all that, so that it is important that reports are available, because every day something or the other is coming up. Mani, welcome. And so Mani, this is time to listen from you. What is your impression and what are your comments now about the program?
Good afternoon, everyone. Good evening. Good morning. So, the basic thing that we are struggling is to, make this program reachable to a wider audience, and that is the basic thing that we need to do as to how to make it, popular and reachable to every common man, because people in India, they do have a mindset of not following up with, any kind of, mental issues. They don't recognize it as a problem. They don't pay attention to it. And then when things, they become beyond repair, then, on somebody's advice, they may go to. Similarly, for students, I think it should be a part of their curriculum, either in, at least an elective kind of a course. A short course should be conducted in schools and colleges where they get educated about it as to what is happening. The lectures that you have prepared that are there by the faculties, they should be part of curriculum in every school. I think starting from class 8th or 9th, when the students, they get into this race of making a career. So I think that is the place where we should pitch in, and it should start from there. This knowledge that is there, it should reach each and every parent who is actually trying to send every Sachin Tendulkar to Kota. So as Dr. Dalal has said in his first lecture. So these are my thoughts, and I really want to, make this reachable to every family, every school, every student should know about it.
Yeah. Yeah, I know Mani is working hard to make things happen, and hopefully things will change in time to come. We are not discouraged. It is just the second month of, it is our second session. The third, we have a program on 10th of September. There is a program in Kota where I am participating, and we are conducting the program, having short interview by experts. So all that will be, I think YouTube is going to become our main resource for a number of lectures being available. So Mani, I don't see people joining today, so I don't know what to do now. Dr. Murthy, you want to express something?
No, Amresh. I was looking forward to listen to the intervention section. There are three things which are uppermost in my mind.
Right.
I've written about it, and I've just recently wrote about rethinking public mental health in the World Social Psychiatry, published last week, where I have expressed my ideas. I think we are talking too much about the deviancy aspect of it. Forgive me for being a little critical. Even the last few sessions have been totally pathological. Yeah. You can't attract people to you when you're talking about things which happens to 1% or 5% or 10%. You have to talk about things which everyone feels. Do you know there is a news item which I will send it to you? The monetary value of the beauty treatment, business in India is going to cross sky high in the next few years. It started with Sushmita Sen being made the Miss Universe.
I know.
They did it mainly because they wanted to bring beauty into the business.
Right. That's true.
It was a planned one. It's not that Indian women became less beautiful after a few years. No, the point which I'm making is, you see, you have kept the topic as Manasika Shakti, but you're talking about all the time. I mean, the presentations were brilliant, but they were professional presentations. Who the hell wants to listen to risk factors and things? I want to know. I'll give you one example of a practical example. My friend Dr. C.R. Chandrasekhar has written nearly 200 books for the general population.
Right.
Do you know one book which has gone into 20 plus editions? It is about memory and learning.
Yes.
Why is it? Because memory and learning, every student wants to know it.
Yeah, that's true.
He doesn't want to know about schizophrenia. He wants to know about depression. He doesn't want to know about suicide. He doesn't want to know about addiction. But he wants to know, how can I be happy? How can I learn? How can I be a better person? And see, for example, we are having difficulty getting people to come in with so much of effort from you. Hats off to you. I appreciate that. But you see, for example, this evening there is a pravachan, called Meditation Circle. Hundreds of people join. Why? Because you are giving them something, they can use it. Here, what we are telling is, oh, there are some terrible people, they go and commit suicide. We cannot do anything about it. There is nothing you can do about it. This is the thing, and they don't come to the hospital for treatment. This is totally wrong. I'm saying it. We have to change the whole dialogue. I understand. I'm sorry, I'm being. I understand that we have a historical legacy where mentally ill were treated badly in jails. So we had to think of humanizing it from the asylums, mental hospital, general hospital, psychiatry community. But today we have the technology, we have the information. Just this morning I read a paper about postpartum depression. I will read out the summary for you. It is from the Asian Journal of Psychiatry, 2023. They looked at the role of social support in preventing postpartum depression and conclude that this is one of the measurable, identifiable, doable thing. So if we are talking about postpartum depression, you should be talking about what you can do to prevent it, rather than saying that, oh, depression will have sleep disturbance and sadness, crying, suicidal ideas, and it affects these people, that people. That is the whole presentations of yesterday. Obviously, because I'm so deeply involved in it, I came back today and kept. But otherwise, I would say, my God, these people are talking about something which I don't need it.
Sir, I tell you, to change the mindset of our own people is becoming a big barrier.
No, but Amresh, we have known each other for more than 40 years. You have to take a very different approach.
Yeah, you're right.
It is not public health. Public mental health is not mental health for the people. It is by the people and of the people. Until this evening, I have not seen a single person talking about of the people and by the people.
That's true.
If you were to go and say, I mean, for example, in the COVID time, what are the things that they found to be protective? People who were exercising before, they were protected. People who had sleep patterns, protected. People who had social support, they were protected. Those who are spiritual, even in Wuhan, they found that people who are using mindfulness, they did better. Now, we don't talk about that. So these are the things that people will say, hey, this is the thing which we can do it. This will help me to do well in studies, do well as a person, grow up as a. So my own request to you is, that's why I ordered yesterday as soon as you mentioned the books, and one of them is coming tomorrow, other one is coming next week. I'm looking forward to read them. But we have to talk about that. Look, there is a component like your beauty, your physical health. There is a mental health. These are the components. And in some people, it can go wrong. But most of us can prevent this thing occurring. This is my basic message, that the paradigm of dialogue with the public has to be one of what is known. As you said, rightly referred to Dilip Jaste about positive psychiatry. You know the Times magazine of August 28th has 3-4 articles on mental health. One of the graphs, I'll send it to you by email, shows that the utilization of mental health has increased by 1/3, and the people who say that their mental health is good has gone down by 1/3. It's a beautiful graph. One picture tells you where are we going wrong. Now, you will ask me, why is it the West is not able to understand this? I asked this question to Dr. Salman Akhtar, one of the really brightest person from India, in my estimate. He said we did something wrong with the psychoanalysis. What is the wrong thing that we did? We made it very expensive. We made it very Jewish. We used terms which were not popular with people, and we made it very long. I asked him this question and immediately he gave this one, and no one can talk about psychoanalysis. So we have to think, like, for example, the Thrive program in England, they converted the whole psychoanalysis into CBT, into smaller, simpler things. So Amresh, my own request is that we have to be seen as propagators of mental health. Incidentally, mental illness comes.
I fully and I'm trying to really remove the part of medicine. I'll show you just one little bit of context as to what exactly, where I wanted to take it. Let me, if I can, yes, here. Is it seen?
Yeah. Only your list is seen.
Yeah. So this, this diagram, is it not seen?
No.
Okay,
it's only the list of the documents.
No, I'll we are trying to bring in my attempt is to talk about psychological characteristics and psychological virtues, the two things.
Yeah.
Divide into two that say that what we possess is psychological characteristics. Sometimes they are less developed, sometimes they are more developed. When they are far too less developed, we may end up developing depression, developing delusions, etc., etc. And there is a host of characteristics. We call it psychological virtues, call it social connectedness, call it spiritual component, call it trust, positive psychiatry, whatever name you want to give, but these are humane aspect of our psychological characteristics, which, number one, can be cultivated by training, practice, dialogue, discourse, encouragement.
Yeah.
And there is a lot of neurobiological evidence of that, how psychotherapy works, how counseling works, how two friends who continue to talk, continue to live in cohesion, their brain is different than many other people who live in isolation.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Probably we are not able to comprehend and tell our story in a dialogue, in a language that a filmmaker would present. We may have limitation of our own semantics and communication to the rest of the world, and that probably is isolating us. Because that's the reason we are not heard. I mean, instead calling depression, I prefer to call it experience of sadness, which is much better understood by people. When they call me and somebody says, let us talk about depression. So I say, you want to talk about depression or you want to talk about sadness sometimes that you feel?
I would even go, Amresh, if I can just interrupt you, I would even go further, at least in the Indian context, to use word dukkha rather than depression. The word dukkha, the word dukkha has a emotional resonance. It has a normalcy about it. It has a background of Buddhism to attach to it.
Quite true. But I would call depression as a disease. In Hindi, I have said, चित्त की बीमारी है, चित्त की समस्या है, not बीमारी. क्योंकि शब्द चित्त जो है वो हम अच्छी तरह समझते हैं कि हमें दुखता कहाँ है, हमारी दुखती रग है कहाँ, मन में which place in our head it pains and how long it will pain and why it pains. So it has it all cultural connotation. It can explain why people get headache in tension, why people feel tense, and finally what should be done. I mean, simple message that as I wanted ki, I take the example of peer support, which I was talking yesterday.
Yeah.
कि ये यारी दोस्ती का मामला है. और ये इतना बड़ा मामला बन गया जिसे हम we are calling it as a therapy. So why in class 7th or 8th, why parents should not make it a point that the child has benefit of friendship along with facility of coaching, because the friendship is going to last for life. All of us know, if you close your eyes, say, where can I bank upon? You will remember one or the other friend, not your relative. It is the kind of bondage that you develop. But today, one of the factors that our children are feeling lonely is because they have not been taught to establish human bond. There is no time. Dr. Dalal was explaining yesterday 2 cases, saying that there is no program in 24 hours to spend time with friends. So
there is a famous book by a lady called Janet Twinge and called Generations, where they show even the pre-marriage the pregnancies and abortions have come down because the socialization has become less. Though it's a good thing in one way, but what I'm saying is these the smartphones have contributed a lot to the problem. But you see, the point which I'm making, Amresh, is a little different. We should not be finding fault with the system. Urbanization, migration, breakdown of the families. What we have to say that what can you do? How can you see, for example, again, I'm going back to my beauty business. No one tells when you have a problem, come to the beauty parlor. They say, use this powder, use this oil, use this shampoo, use this lip balm, or eat this food, and then you increase your awareness of beauty. Once you are aware of beauty, before going to a marriage, before going for a party, I'll go to the beauty parlor.
Yes, sir. So, for example, I add to it that we haven't developed a course to prepare students for interviews.
Absolutely.
How to control performance anxiety. We are not teaching
even
that.
Even before that, for example, how to know yourself. See, we keep saying that everyone is capable of doing everything. We are not. You are different than me because of my own childhood, my own background. So if we can start with how do you, and sorry, if other people are coming in, you tell me, I'll stop it. If we can start with saying that, look, how can you understand your strengths and weaknesses? Okay, and what are the things that happen to you as a brahmacharya, grihastha, vanaprastha, things like that, and thirdly, what are the things which facilitate? What are the things that you can do to maximize your capacity? I told you, as I told you about Chandrasekhar's book and one memory and learning.
I remember.
Because immediately they say, hey, इससे मुझे फर्क पड़ता है, इससे मुझे फायदा होता है. नहीं है तो ये तो बातें करता है कि आप ये करो, वो करो, ये होता है.
For example, Dr. Murthy, we haven't written a single book how to handle relationship.
Absolutely.
And where all the data says that one of the cause for human misery is inability to handle relationship.
Absolutely.
And I think we are shying away as a professional from problem of masses. And
let me give you an agenda you can work upon, Amresh. I'll be happy to help you. Number one, we should not think of some arbitrary ideas from all over the world. We should go back to our stories, Mahabharata, Iswan and Quran, Guru Granth Sahib and Bible, and take out things from there, illustrating these points. I will read. I will. First one. Second one is get people to write what helped them. This is what I have done with my work with cancer. What helped them? For example, a lady with terminal cancer was looking very calm. I said, what is it that you have found so helpful? She said, I read every day Sundarkanda. That teaches me that the same way that Sita was rescued, I feel I'll get rescued. Another person had severe pain.
I think my wife Ujjwala can shed some. Ujjwala, you want to speak about it? How Sundarkand helps in ailments?
So you start with that, then get each person, tell people, ask people to write their stories, what helped them when they were going through a crisis.
Yeah, I'm on it. I'm requesting. I hope.
Yeah.
Are you able to listen, Ujjwala? To unmute. Yes. Would you like to present your ideas about Sundarkand and experience during the illness?
Sorry, come again.
Can you elaborate experience of Sundarkand helping during illness?
Oh, yes, absolutely. I mean, this is my very personal experience. I was once, very long time ago, guided that you should read Sundarkand. I mean, I was not very well versed with Ramayana or Tulsi Ramayana because I hail from Mumbai and that ain't the local language. But when I started reading it, my personal experience was such that you are so very empowered to face every situation that comes. It makes everything so very bearable. It gives you strength and literally a strength of your mind, and you feel supported. And as you know that what they say about so the portion, the Sundarkand is a fifth chapter of Ramayana written by Tulsidas. So in that, Hanumanji travels over to Sri Lanka, and he goes under the he flies over the sea. So he is going into the depth, into the girth and the darkness of one's mind, and he finds out all the information about Sita ji, comes back with it. So what it is Shri Hanumanji who is helping you out from the despair of your life, and especially about illness. So I mean, I have had a couple of experiences. Once when one of my family members was not too well, and that is when I started reading, and like I decided that I would read it for about 40 days, and I did it for 41. Suppose if I made any mistake or something, every evening I read the whole chapter. It took me about 1.5 hours that time. But while I was reading it, I have had so many solutions, so many answers to my questions. Now you can consider that faith and belief has its own place, but reading this particular scripture has brought wonders. And now when I was myself very sick, I could literally feel the presence of the Lord around me while I was in the ICU, filled with despair and fear under the influence of so much anesthetics and drugs. And especially after post-surgery, the couple of days which were very bad, I don't think I would have been out of the situation without my strength and without my belief. So Sundarkand itself, like it has been generally when anybody is sick, anybody is ill, this is what they always prescribe. This is a prescription from any people who have a knowledge in this field. Anybody like those guys who probably are gurus or keep knowledge of it. So it has nothing to do with a particular situation. It helps everybody. It helps every common person. Like people who are more science oriented will sometimes question these things, but it just brings out the best. It brings out the strength of your mind, and it is full support. Thank you. This is all I have to say.
Very, very, very exciting. I know. I just wanted everybody to the point which Dr. Murthy made. Here is an example, and it would be worthwhile doing some study of people who read Sundarkand every day. I will be going to next month. I'm spending about 5 days in Varanasi with various universities for students program. And if time permits, if I get a chance, we'll try and tell our colleagues to set up some study so that we can have some data, quantitative as well as qualitative, whatever. The second thing which occurs to me is when we talk about creative thinking, finding alternative pathways for solving problems. Literature has to offer a lot. I mean, I remember the poetry has been used as traditionally for crisis intervention, for healing, for providing support. And I don't know how many, may I, Dr. Murthy, do you have any thought about literature, poetry having a space?
Oh, absolutely. Bibliotherapy is one of the best things that I use it regularly.
You know about what?
You know,
Yes.
it is as Ujjwala said, it's a very, very powerful one. Particularly when you ask people to read texts which they are already familiar with. See, the advantage of that story from a text of either Quran or Bible or Guru Granth Sahib or Gita or this one is, it goes, there is a tremendous amount of emotional richness it attached to that story. It is not some story coming from Boston or Bristol or Baltimore. It is something which they have grown up with it. You know, similar to Ujjwala, one of my patients had severe pain and I said, how do you handle it with cancer in palliative state? She said, look, I remember Ramana Maharshi. When Ramana Maharshi had cancer and pain, he said, my body has pain, I don't have pain.
Yes.
You know, that advice had 100 times more power than my telling, think positive.
Yes.
See,
yes.
my saying think positive, how do I mean think? But when I say Ramana Maharshi did it, immediately a whole lot of background comes into the mind of the person. Or when you say Arjuna did it, or when Bhima did it, or some Ram did it, you know. So I mean, I'm just saying it's every religion has got it. For example, Chadi Kala or something like that, there is a term in Sikh literature, which Charanjit Singh talked about it. It talks about handling pain with dignity.
Okay.
You know, I mean, we can go on and on, but I think we have to think of the resources that are there rather than feeling that, you know, we don't have enough people, we don't have enough resources. We have enormous amount of resources. We have to think of it.
I think that brings me to the point that in order to introduce mental health healing, why is it not important? Why is it important to bring cultural stories in the education system of class 4, 5, 6, 7, where you can provide cultural, religious, spiritual stories, poetry, which can transform and provide messages to strengthen personality, teach resilience, positivity, hope, etc., be it from, from our ancestral text or religious text or stories from crisis, war, disaster, whatever.
Yeah. No, what I'm saying is we must think of utilizing that, like it's happening with the solar power. Solar has been there for centuries, but only now in the last 10, 20 years, we are suddenly aware of the solar as being a very useful one. You know, so what I'm saying is let's rebuild a new type of a mental health, which is people oriented, by the people, of the people, rather than for the people.
So I'm going to think of a project and write to you, sir. And maybe we'll join and create some curriculum-based intervention based upon these facts of Ramayana and Mahabharata.
Yeah.
May I invite anybody else who in our audience has any comments or sharing ideas before we?
I told
we are very few, so I don't think I will start structured.
मुझे पता चला कि 6:30 बजे शुरू होती है मीटिंग, मतलब आपके 4 बजे.
Ujjwala, you have to mute.
Is there anybody who wants to make any comment or come in and have any question? Priyanka Verma, you are welcome. Professor Mishra, you have any comment? Manishan, anything that you have to share? So this discussion is more important rather than me running. I had planned to really talk about resilience, my own work as intervention for day-to-day suffering of life. But I think I'll keep it aside and we will just continue to talk. Dr. Mishra, you have any points to make?
Sir, I think this suggestion is good that we can just interact and discuss, and we can ask the audience also what are the things which are bothering them or what do they want to learn. And once we are clear about like how to proceed these sessions, that will be more beneficial. Because one of the feedback I just wanted to share that one of my students who joined yesterday,
Right.
she gave me the feedback like it was like the head was very very heavy when she like listened for 3-4 hours. So
Right.
if that is the thing people feel, so they are not able to continue this type of interaction, because when it is offline that is different, but when it is online this is going to be very very long and it is just not possible for everybody to concentrate for that long period. So that is one point. Another is that like there are multiple courses being run in IITs and other premier institutions which are talking about the happiness and well-being. And one similar course, as I was telling you, I have just introduced today in my department. So which is talking more about like the strategies to cope up with all these kind of problem, instead of talking about too much, I mean, just for a lay person, too much about like the pathological aspect. So as Dr. Murthy was mentioning, so I also do agree that we have to focus more on the strategies, prevention part, and how to change the lifestyle for feeling better, feeling well, and being happy, instead of too much of information on other side. Thank you.
So, Dr. Mishra, can I request you and your students, if you can give a list of 12 items which are prime concern for students in their day-to-day life. We will build something very interesting for them from the perspective that we are talking.
Certainly, sir. I'll talk to my students and then I'll let you know, like, what are the things.
Yes.
Yeah. I can just get back to you.
Please, what are those 12 things that they feel worried about in their day-to-day? Because when I will think, it is based on literature, my experience of people who have become patient and their relative, which is very different than real life campus issues.
Yes, yes.
So I would wait to hear from you, and then we can develop a course book. We can develop video modules. We can develop dialogue discussions and say half an hour chat on each of the topic, and we'll build on that and respond to the needs. This is, as I have been telling since beginning, we want to listen. It is a learning process for us. And I'm sure, like me, for many psychiatrists, it will be a learning process to face people who are not suffering from mental disorders and try to understand their problems in day-to-day life. I learned a lot when I was writing this book, The Battle Within, in which we have described daily life struggle, what people go through and how psychology is involved in that, what kind of lessons can help them change their course. Anyway, Priyanka Verma, do you have any comments? You have to speak anything.
Priyanka, you may share. Priyanka is research scholar in Department of Statistics.
Okay.
And
welcome.
Yes. So, Priyanka, please share your input. So maybe that she was in the department and she might have been traveling or something.
Okay.
So maybe
then,
it is not possible.
I think this is the time I will. We are anyway going to have program on 9th as well as on 10th. which will supplement this. So I don't see many people joining today. So I may call it a day, and thank you very much for assembling.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I will send information accordingly. Thank you.